Howdy, I'm Chef Mick from Tony's Market. My favorite time of year when the Rocky Ford melons get here. These things are amazing, and there's nothing to be afraid of. They're really well handled and clean, very clean when they get to the stores. But after that, there's still chance of contamination. Achoo! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So all you really need to do is make sure they're washed in case something else came in contact with them. With melons and things like this, I normally will start with hot water, give it a good rinse and a good brush with a good stiff vegetable brush. Cover it all over. And the hot water is not going to hurt it. 120 degrees is fine. And then I'll switch over and give it cold water and just finish it in the cold water. We'll want to dry it off and make sure we have a clean knife and a clean work surface. And speaking of a clean work surface, always before I start, I'll use just a little bit of chlorine. This is a little food service trip. I put it in a little container like this so it's easy to control. Too much chlorine is even worse. So we're just going to put a few drops. A full sink of water would be about a cap full of chlorine. So I'm going to put a few drops in here, and I will sanitize the whole sink, scrub the sink, soak your sponges and everything, so everything is nice and clean when you start. So other things we can do, things like avocados. We're going to be cutting through the outside, so if they've got any cross-contamination on the outside, same story. You want to give them a good brush, a good scrubbing, dry them before you cut them, make sure you have a clean knife. Now, fresh greens. And this is fresh lettuce out of my garden. So there's probably bugs in here. I haven't used any insecticides or anything, but there's probably bugs in there. It's not going to hurt you. We want to get them clean. So we're going to soak that in salt water. I put a lot of salt. I probably put a quarter cup of kosher salt into cold water, dissolved it really nice, and I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. After it's sat, I'm going to do several changes of cold water. I soak it and I just drain it out. And you'll soak it and you drain it out, and then you can spin it. Get it nice and dry. It'll last for a couple weeks in your fridge if you get it nice and dry and put it in a nice sealed container. Other things we can do. Now roots, things like roots like this, you don't really need to worry about bugs. You don't really need to worry about too much about contaminants. Most of the outside is going to come off. It's going to get cooked. I will just soak it in water and give it a good stiff brush. Beans, things like that, I will rinse it in hot water and then rinse it in cold water. If it got mud and dirt on it, soak it for a few minutes. It'll be fine. And berries, here's another little trick for you. You can use acidulated water. It's about 1 part of vinegar to about 10 parts of water. Nice cold water. We'll just let it sit in there for about a minute. And what that does is it kills any mold spores that might be on there. So even if you just bought these at the store, you take it home and do this right away. Even if it even has a touch of mold on there, it actually will kill that off. So we'll let that soak in there. We'll get nice and covered. We'll rinse them really nice. And then you could use any kind of vinegar. I would just use distilled white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. So all these things, little tips, will help you to have clean and delicious vegetables all year long. So I'm going to take these nice, fresh lettuces and vegetables. We're going to turn it into a delicious salad. Here's how we cut a melon. Got a clean melon here. I got a clean work surface. Everything's been sanitized. I'm going to cut through it here. It's nice. See how it's starting to break down a little bit? That means it's nice and ripe. Just scoop the center out with a spoon. You don't want to dig too deep because the sweetest part of the melon is right next to those seeds. Get it all out here. I'll take it like this and I'll cut the outside off. This way you have control so you can get it not too deep, but just right and you get it nice and clean. There we go. It's nice and clean. Minimum of effort, minimum of waste. So I'm going to make a salad here, so I'm going to cut some of these a little thinner. Generally with the salad you want most of your components to be about the same size so that it's easy to pick up and eat. So we'll take some of our fresh greens. If I was going to serve to everyone, I would be putting it in a bowl and tossing it with the vinaigrette. In this case, I'm going to be making a salad that each person can dress their own way. So I'm going to compose it like this here. Now you can scatter things or group things. I like to group things because that way if you're really into the cantaloupe, you can dig that up. You're really into the berries, you can dig that. But don't get too worried about following a recipe with salads and things like that. You just put together things that you like and it's going to be great. Keep your colors in mind. I think maybe a little prosciutto di Parma would be nice with this. We'll just tear a few little pieces and kind of scatter it around on top there. Now this would be great with a balsamic vinaigrette or our Cabernet Sauvignon vinaigrette would be really nice. Anything you like though, even blue cheese would go nicely with a salad like this. So we have a very simple salad, very, very healthy. Whatever you've got is going to work out great here. Let's give it a little bit of pepper and we'll dress it at the table. You can get all my recipes at digincolorado.com. Let's dig in.